Grüß Gott. Grüß Gott, dear crypto friends. Welcome to today's video. You know, that's how we say it in Bavaria. We say Grüß Gott, okay? And what is happening in crypto land? Bitcoin is rising. That is, of course, very nice. We like it when Bitcoin goes up, right? We say that it's very good. But should we already celebrate? Should we already really celebrate? Or should we be pretty cautious? And that could be all like a fake out. So for that, of course, we have to look not only at the Bitcoin chart itself, but of course also at the stock market, because let us overlay, for example, the NASDAQ, right? Let us just overlay the NASDAQ. And what do we see? Oh, wow. There might be some correlation between Bitcoin and tech stocks, right? And we could actually say that Bitcoin is very often treated as a tech stock, okay? So we see this stupid correlation, especially here, like especially after November 2021, it's just hilarious, right? The correlation is just hilarious, but it started diverging a bit at some point. You see, it's not always perfectly overlaid. For example, it was diverging here, right? When the NASDAQ was up, but Bitcoin was down. We, of course, know why that is. That is pretty clear, right? That was the FTX collapse here. And we see some kind of divergence happening here where the NASDAQ is breaking out. And Bitcoin is also kind of breaking out, but later and not as strongly. It's as if Bitcoin is not like super motivated to break out. It's like the NASDAQ is leading the way and Bitcoin is like, do I really have to follow? I don't want to follow. I'm so lazy. So in order to understand if this is a sustainable breakout and we're going like, I don't know, continue pumping upwards, or if this could be some kind of fake out and in reality we will see like kind of a pump situation and then a dump, that of course will depend on the stock market. So we have to look at the stock market. So let us load the NASDAQ, okay? Let us load the NASDAQ and we see, wow, man, this is looking kind of insane. The NASDAQ is going on this insane bull run here. And remember how hilariously pessimistic everyone was here, saying like, okay, guys, it's game over. We are going to go much lower. This will be the biggest crash of our lifetimes. Remember all those YouTubers and all those idiots making the videos like, wow, 90% crash incoming confirmed. It's game over, right? Remember that? And that was actually the bottom. And so it is quite hilarious that actually now it's pumping when actually nobody expected this here. And now everybody's like, what's going on? And of course, we know what is happening. It's the AI craze. AI, wow! AI is the magical buzzword. You only have to say AI 100 times in a press conference and your company will go up magically by 30%. That's how it works today, okay? This is already a clear indication, by the way, if there's insane hype, that maybe something is not 100% right. That some, you know, if there's too much hype, that's rarely a good sign. Remember the meme coins, right? If you have peak hype, normally already that's an indication that there might be some underlying weakness and this might just be a bounce. But okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's do TA, because this is what our channel is about here. We like to do technical analysis. So this is the NASDAQ, okay? And in the NASDAQ, we could see something very interesting building up now in the course of, a few months since January. We had this quite interesting rising wedge pattern, right? And rising wedges are normally a bearish pattern. So we are quite surprised to see a bullish breakout, right? But a strong bullish breakout. A strong bullish breakout from a normally bearish pattern. That sometimes does happen. Okay, so when was the last time a similar situation happened? And we go back to 2019 and we see there was a similar setup back then. Very similar. We had some sort of rising wedge situation. It was not quite as clear cut, but we can see a kind of a similar setup, right? Here it broke through the support just to bounce back up. So it's not quite as clear and pronounced as here, but still, it did happen. And we got an insane breakout. Look at this, how it went on an insane rampage, and then bam, a huge dump came. Of course, now you might say, hey, this was because of the brutal virus, the brutal virus that came out of nowhere. But nonetheless, without this, then it wouldn't have dumped so deep. Probably without this, we would have stopped here. Because normally if we get a breakout from a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern, normally it returns back to the breakout point. So normally it goes back here to the breakout point and then would have resumed upwards, okay? So this is a typical setup, breakout, then back to the breakout point, you know, back testing the support and then going upwards. So it is not unusual that a bearish pattern is breaking to the upside. So what happens now is this thing can pump on for quite some time. We don't know how high it will go, okay? We don't know how high it will go, but I'm pretty sure that at some point it will come back and retest the breakout area, you know, the breakout point area, and then afterwards we'll go up. So don't be fooled by this massive bull run. Especially if it's accompanied by insane hype, this should always be a warning sign. Always. If you have like massive breakouts and like everyone is saying like AI is the next, I don't know, this is the next Dogecoin right now, the next hype, then we should be very careful because we remember how it was with coins. Peak hype was exactly at the top. This rally is actually fueled by only a few big tech stocks, okay? And we can see this beautifully in the advanced decline line, okay? The advanced decline line is a breadth indicator which tells you how many stocks are actually participating in a market move, okay? It tells you the percentage of stocks that are participating. So basically they're also moving upwards with the market. So the more stocks are above their 200-day moving average, the higher the advanced decline line will be. So the ADL tells you basically how much conviction there's behind a move, how many stocks are actually participating in a move. And what we can see insanely clearly here is like, while the price is making higher highs, just look at this, the advanced decline line here from the 1st of February 2023 is just declining, making lower highs all the time, lower highs, while the price is making higher highs. And now see this breakout here, where we normally would think like the advanced decline line is going berserk. Do you see this? The advanced decline line is making this small, super small blip here. You cannot even see it. So there's really not much conviction behind this move. This means that only a few stocks are actually participating in this move, okay? And we call this a super bearish divergence in the advanced decline line. Higher highs in the price, lower highs in the advanced decline line. That is a bearish sign, okay? That is a bearish sign. I'm not making this shit up. Believe me, okay? Believe me. Okay, so what was the last time when we had huge divergences in the ADL? Let's just look at a few examples and what happened afterwards, okay? Here, for instance, in late 2021, we had higher highs in the price, but what did the ADL do? It was already giving us huge warning signs. Guys, don't be fooled. This market move is with low conviction. Not many stocks are actually participating, and the advanced decline line was already warning us, okay? It was already warning us. Or here, another beautiful example, also very nice. Look, higher highs in the price. And what did the advanced decline line say? I'm making lower highs. And what happened indeed? There was, okay, not a spectacular correction, but still kind of an impressive correction for that absolute bull market that we were in for a quite long time. Another wonderful example in 2018, okay? We know the big correction from 2018 here, actually, right? It also surprised us in Bitcoin. That also made Bitcoin dump hugely in late 2018, early 2019. And what did the advanced decline line say? Here, guys, we had higher high in the price here, and we had lower highs in the advanced decline line. So the advanced decline line, I would say, of course, like any indicator, it's not 100% guaranteed working indicator, because we know that such indicators don't exist. Every indicator from time to time gives false signals, right? But we should be cautious because this move here has so little conviction behind it. It's basically driven by a few big companies, by a few big tech companies like Nvidia, you know, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, all these companies that are basically now getting on the AI hype bandwagon, Okay, they are pumping like crazy, and the retail investor is again the fool who is being fooled by the media, and they are buying into this craze. Oh, that's amazing, we will get a new bull market, confirmed, woo, this will go just on and on and on, like woo, without correction to I don't know, 50,000. The NASDAQ will go to 50,000 without any correction. But we remain calm. You, the viewers of this channel, who are very intelligent, I think I can say this with high confidence. It's basically almost confirmed. You and me, we remain calm, and we watch this and say, this does not look right. Something smells fishy here. So be careful, because the ADL normally is a really good indicator that predicts false breakouts, and I would bet something that even if this continues for a few more days or weeks, even like a few more weeks, at some point it will turn around and revisit the breakout area. At least this breakout area, if not a bit lower. It is even possible that we revisit this support line here. So please be prepared that this could be a false breakout. The ADL is really warning us. Okay, so what are you saying here? I'm here for coins, okay? I'm here for coins. You're talking stuff about the stock market. Doesn't interest me. Downvote, angry comment, ciao. Just a moment. Let me explain, please. Let me load the Bitcoin index, the Bitcoin price chart. Please give me a moment. Okay, so here you have the Bitcoin chart, right? Our famous Bitcoin chart. Let's go into the weekly. Let's maybe go into the weekly. Here we have this nice logarithmic regression channel that is basically getting lower and lower all the time. Just for shits and giggles, let's just load the old indicator, like the old Bitcoin logarithmic growth indicator, and see how this went. Okay, this started out well. Here already broke out in March 2020 below the indicator support, and then boom, we are super low below the lowest support line of the old logarithmic trend channel. Okay, so please also be careful with these logarithmic trend channels that tell you, oh, this will go guaranteed forever in this channel. No, this is a fluid indicator. This is fluid, and if the indicator breaks down, if something happens and we go out, then the support line is just redrawn. We just fit it with new data points, and then everything is lower. So don't be fooled also by the beautiful logarithmic regression channels that say it is confirmed, Bitcoin will always go on like this. No, friends, it's not confirmed. The channels are being redrawn all the time based on new data. So even that is not a guarantee. So enough talk now. What does this have to do with Bitcoin? So now if the NASDAQ, right? We saw that the NASDAQ broke out. So there's a high likelihood that Bitcoin will follow, because Bitcoin sometimes really does behave like a tech stock, right? And what we could happen now, NASDAQ continues pumping, right? What does Bitcoin do? Also pumps together with the NASDAQ, right? Why not? Because Bitcoin likes doing that kind of stuff. And then suddenly, when the realization hits that only a few stocks were actually only participating in this breakout, in this fake breakout, then we have a huge correction, and you can guess already what Bitcoin will be doing. It will just brutally follow that correction. Now, how low will it go? I don't know myself, but I can tell you this will depend on how strong the NASDAQ will correct, how low the NASDAQ will go. So if the NASDAQ goes back to lows from last year, we can also assume that Bitcoin will go back to this area or these areas that we haven't seen in a long time, okay? If the NASDAQ goes even lower, we could also go back to these support levels at 15K. It's not impossible, guys. Again, this support line, this logarithmic support stuff here, it's just like a guideline, so you can orient yourself where it could be, but it doesn't mean that this blue support line here is now unbreakable. No, because you saw what happened to the old logarithmic regression channels. They got broken, so it could even go back to this support here. It could even do that. So don't be fooled, friends, by this euphoric move in the market. Of course, the market can stay irrational longer than you and me can stay solvent. The old saying, right? So what could also happen is that against all odds, suddenly the NASDAQ just continues pumping far longer than we expect, and Bitcoin just continues pumping and pumping and pumping and just goes straight to new all-time highs. Can I exclude this? Of course not. Of course not. Because the NASDAQ, let's go just back for the NASDAQ for a second. I mean, if the NASDAQ really continues pumping longer than we expect, I think still it will come back at some point to this breakout area. But in the meanwhile, it could actually go and set up a new all-time high. Is it impossible? It's not impossible. I'm just warning. I'm just saying, friends, don't be fooled by this breakout, because this is not a breakout with big conviction. And I'm not convinced. I'm absolutely not convinced that this is a bull market continuation. I'm not convinced that this is here what's going to happen, like new bull market, and we just continue pumping for years, as we did here from basically 2009 to 2020, 2021, you know. I don't think this is the same situation we're in right now. This move does not have conviction. I am not fooled by it. We will at some point almost guaranteed return to the breakout area in some form, like this, or even like this. They will all end here, the trajectories in the breakout area. That is what I wanted to say. Don't be fooled by hype, okay? Hype is always a bad sign. Hype is always like warning you. It's a warning sign. It's like with Dogecoin. You remember Dogecoin? Like everyone, woof, woof, yes, dog. There's a coin with a dog on it. Buy. There's a good coin with like good fundamentals and a good development team. Ciao. I'm not interested in that coin. I'm not interested in that coin. I only want dogs. Woof, woof, woof. I only want freaking dogs. Okay? That's how it was back then. And now everyone is like, AI? What did you say? AI? I will freaking buy your stock. What? You did not mention your products have AI? Ciao. I will not buy your company. I'm not interested. What? You say your products have some type of AI? Buy. That's how it works. And that is a strong warning sign against this kind of stuff. That hype is never a good sign. So friends, be careful with this breakout. Also be careful with Bitcoin, because again, Bitcoin, we wouldn't like it to be the case, but let's just overlay it again. Bitcoin is just hilariously correlated. Look at this. I mean, especially since late 2021, it's almost a one-to-one correlation, except for this small deviation and except for this small deviation. It's almost a one-to-one copy. So be careful, okay? Be careful. Friends, that's it. That's all I wanted to say for today. Next time we will analyze some, I don't know what. Actually, I have no idea what we'll do. I have no idea what I will do next time. I'm just talking stuff while I go along, and sometimes it's complete crap. So, okay, that's how this channel works. I have no plan what I'm going to say next time. We will see what the market will do. We can also look at some altcoins, and we try to figure out what Bitcoin is going to do, because all altcoins anyways just follow what Bitcoin is doing for the most part. Friends, have a nice day. Have a nice day. Go outside. The sun is shining here in Germany. You won't believe it. The sun came out. I don't even remember how the sun looks, because it was not here for 8 months. So enjoy the weather outside. Don't stare too much at charts. Have a nice day and see you next time. Ciao.